Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Crypto and the Caribbean, the show where we highlight the development and progression of the fintech, crypto, and blockchain space throughout the entire Caribbean region. I'm your host, L, and we didn't really come here to slap up, so let's just jump straight into it. So, it's been another relatively light week in news for the Caribbean, but I still got a couple things I wanted to talk to y'all about. First up, a member of parliament in St. Martin wants to not only get paid in crypto, but also is moving to make crypto legal tender in the country. But there's a twist though. It's not just any crypto that he wants, it's Bitcoin Cash, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash. And if you're unaware of the difference, I'll get into that in a bit. Second, we have reports coming out of Jamaica that e-payments in the country, or the e-payment market in the country, I should say, has doubled over the past 2 years. So let's talk about what that could mean for the country and where it's going. And then third, we already know April is a pretty big month with the Bitcoin 2022 conference, Bitcoin Unleashed, and all the other events crypto related going on in April. But we have a Caribbean focused event here from Silicon Carib, the Caribbean Blockchain Alliance, and Microsoft that I'm super excited about. Very interested in checking this out, and we can talk about that in a bit too. So we here, man. Let's get into it. So, first story, and the biggest one. We have a member of St. Martin's Parliament planning to have his entire salary paid in Bitcoin Cash. Now, the header alone seems very clickbaity, so I almost didn't believe this was a real story when I first saw it. I almost didn't believe so. Shout out to Trek, who actually pointed this out for me earlier in the week. He let me know what was going on, so I dug into it a little bit, and I saw that this member of parliament didn't just want their salary paid in Bitcoin Cash, but he was moving to make Bitcoin Cash legal tender for St. Martin. So coming down into the story a little bit here, we see on Saturday, the leader of the United People's Party and member of St. Martin's Parliament, Rolando Bryson, announced that he's become the first elected official to request his entire salary paid in Bitcoin Cash. Bryson believes St. Martin can be the crypto capital of the Caribbean as long as his country continues to embrace blockchain technology and cryptocurrency solutions. Right off the rip, I agree with everything here except this part. This is just let's keep going on. So, while El Salvador is known for its Bitcoin tender law, the Caribbean has become a hotbed for cryptocurrency adoption, and more specifically with Bitcoin Cash. I don't know who else talking about Bitcoin Cash, but go on. Data from mapbitcoin.com shows that there are currently hundreds of merchants in the Caribbean accepting BCH, which is the ticker for Bitcoin Cash, for goods and services. On March 19th, a member of St. Martin's Parliament and the leader of the United People's Party, Rolando Bryson, announced that he's receiving his entire salary in Bitcoin Cash. Now, just off the rip, if you're new to how the news and stuff works in this space, you have to be very careful and very specific with your words. So reading into this now, data from map.bitcoin.com shows that there are currently hundreds of merchants in the Caribbean accepting Bitcoin Cash for goods and services. At face value, this looks like, okay, it looks like a lot of people like Bitcoin Cash. A lot of people are opting to take this in. They must really like it. But realistically, if you look at the back end of how these payment service providers work and how things like BitPay and coin payments actually work, it's not specifically Bitcoin Cash that they're accepting. They're accepting a slew of different crypto. Realistically, these payment service providers deal with everything on the back end. So they give you the option. It's literally like in a lot of them, it's a toggle you could turn on and off. Like, yeah, I want to accept Bitcoin, I want to accept Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold. I want to accept BitConnect. Like, this isn't specifically saying that people want Bitcoin Cash. It's just saying that there's a bunch of people who accept crypto, and Bitcoin Cash is one of the options that they have in their disposal. So don't get swing. Do not get swing, because these things are very good at misdirection. But let's go on. The government official believes that St. Maarten should continue its path toward delving into the ever-growing cryptocurrency phenomenon. He insisted during his announcement that he has requested St. Maarten's Finance Minister Ardwell Arayan, please, I know I mess up your name, I apologize, to update him on plans for using blockchain technology in government. Quote, I believe St. Maarten has a chance to be the crypto capital of the Caribbean if we continue to innovate and embrace crypto and all the benefits of blockchain technology. So we saw that earlier on. That's his statement. Now, here's where it expands a bit more, and this is actually bigger. I feel like this should have been the headline as opposed to the other thing, because this is bigger than just an MP taking his salary in Bitcoin Cash. So Bryson is also exploring legislation in order to make Bitcoin Cash legal tender in St. Maarten. So on Twitter, the St. Maarten elected official told his followers that he was the first member of the government to get his entire salary in crypto asset payments. Quote, today I become the first elected official. You know what? Instead of coming here, I'll just go straight to Twitter. So we have the Twitter here. This is his Twitter account, MP Bryson. Today, I become I assume that's the first elected official in the world to have his entire salary paid in Bitcoin Cash, as our country moves more and more to making use of cryptocurrency and blockchain. Thanks, Roger Ver, which explains a lot here, for the guidance in making St. Maarten the crypto capital of the Caribbean. So Roger Ver, those of you who don't know, he goes by the alias Bitcoin Jesus. He sees himself as an evangelist of Bitcoin's true form. And I don't want to say much about him. You can do your research on who he is and why a decent amount of the community does not rate this man. But I mean, he's out here. He's a big figure. He's well known. Let's go into the comments real quick, and then we'll jump back to the article. That must have been one hell of a sales pitch. Check out the chart versus Bitcoin, then think on it good and hard. So right away, that's facts. You get a like. It is what it is. Nice, but I bet you can live without even having a salary with all the money you already have. Let's see if the average people can live by having their full value in a volatile asset is Bitcoin Cash. No hate here. Is it volatile? I haven't even seen a Bitcoin Cash chart since like 2018. I'll be honest with you. I haven't looked at it. No hate here. Full support of Bitcoin Cash, but reality is reality. He responded, in St. Maarten, we are basically dollarized, so at the mercy of the volatility of the USD, which is something a lot of people don't talk about. People say Bitcoin and all these other things are volatile, but USD isn't so stable in itself. If it was, inflation wouldn't really be a thing. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to argue fiat currencies and their inefficiencies compared to crypto. St. Maarten needs to improve legacy forms of commercial banking first, then create legislation to make transactions via crypto more effective and worthwhile in and for the St. Maarten people. I have done a lot already to fix the legacy banking by means of the consumer banking law. It already, for example, has led to a 10-day maximum time for opening banks. So this part right here is important because MP Bryson really is about that life. He's actually about it. So I dug into him a bit more because, like I said, you see a lot of these clickbaity articles and clickbait titles that in most cases are either just blatantly wrong or blatantly incorrect or intentionally misleading, or they just don't know what they're talking about. So I was skeptical about this. So I dug a bit first to figure out if this is real, if he is real, because this picture right here is nuts. This picture is insane with Bitcoin Cash. That's just insane right out the gate. So I had to look into him a bit, went to the St. Maarten, the official website of the Parliament in St. Maarten, and here he is, Rolando Bryson. Had to do a side-by-side, make sure that was him. So they verified, okay, so he was born, blah, 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 been a member of Parliament for a certain amount of time, has his contacts, so I say, cool. So I wanted to dig more into the personal side. Now I showed y'all before how I dig into these public figures. I start with LinkedIn. And realistically, if we're being honest, I start with Google. Google and Twitter, I'm telling you, Google and Twitter are an undefeated duo for research in the crypto space. So right here, out the gate, Rolando Bryson, Director of Tourism for the island of St. Maarten, Marketing Director, he was a Member of Parliament. This right here, this let me know, this someone I could relate to. If you don't have a picture like this from your mid-teens to like late 20s, so, you know, everyone got something like this, man. You got your suit on, you got on your fresh pair of Oaks, your aviators, and you feel like, you know, that's me. I'm him. That's me. If you don't have a picture like this somewhere in the archives, I can't trust you. I can't trust you. So this right here, valid. To me, valid. We're doing a bit more digging. Let me stop getting off. Doing a bit more digging. Went to his Instagram now. So his Instagram here, leader of the United People's Party, Parliament of St. Martin, Caribbean, pro-crypto MP, seeing St. Martin as the crypto capital of the Caribbean. This looking like the tagline. This looking like the tagline. But going through and you see he getting busy. So you see he out here, family man of the people, it look like. All right. But this is something important here that I want to point out that I found. So right here, Bryson initiates consumer banking protection law. Law will forever improve the way you do banking in this country. 5 key components. The first one, everyone should have the right to a basic bank account. This means it's no longer an option for the bank to grant you an account, but their responsibility to provide you with one. So right off rip, he is about serving the unbanked and the underbanked. Valid. Next one. Banks must open your account within 15 days, not many weeks and months to do so, as is common practice now. Now, for a lot of people like here in the States and a lot of first world countries, it seems like, oh, what you mean weeks and months? Why would it take that long? You got to understand, you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle. You're not used to having a lot of these conveniences just unavailable. You're used to it. But in less developed countries, in smaller countries with less access to resources, assets, and capital that you guys just have, and I say you guys like I'm not living here in the States right now, but people in these super developed countries, they take a lot of these things for granted. They take these as a given without realizing that there's many countries out there that just don't have access to a lot of these things that we deem as basic. Going forward, banks cannot cancel your mortgage, credit card, or close your account on their own. The conditions by which they end a banking relationship with you will now be more strictly regulated. Going forward some more. All banks must publish all of their service fees, improving transparency and competition. All of it just seems like stuff that should have been there already, but it highlights the state that a lot of other countries are in that you're just not really aware of. And the last one, we'll protect your rights as a consumer by offering consumers the services of the Consumer Banking Protection Bureau. So, off the rip, he's trying to help the unbanked. He's trying to help the underbanked. He seems to be a man of the people. He is diving head first into the crypto space. I love every bit of it except this part. So, Bitcoin Cash. For context, Bitcoin Cash is a fork of the original Bitcoin blockchain, meaning it's a branch off. It's one of Bitcoin's sons. Like these other cryptos and stuff, all of them are sons, but Bitcoin is like that's like the blood relative. All the rest of them was adopted. Bitcoin Cash is the blood son. That's the biological son. So it actually branched off of the Bitcoin blockchain itself. And the reason that I and many people in the community do not rate Bitcoin Cash at all is because it's trash. Let me not say it's trash because it has utility. It's just inferior. It's just fundamentally, Bitcoin itself is way more secure. It has way more support behind it, way more development going on. It's all around better. Like if you want details on it, Google Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash, and you'll get articles on articles. If you don't feel like reading, you could find videos on it. This isn't a new debate. It's not even a debate anymore. People know Bitcoin Cash is trash. Roger Ver, aka Bitcoin Jesus, I mean, he was one of the core proponents of trying to push Bitcoin Cash because Bitcoin Cash was kind of a coup. It was in its early days, and I say early days like the very first week that the fork actually happened, it was in a sense a coup trying to replace the original Bitcoin and say Bitcoin Cash is superior, larger block sizes, faster transactions, it's easier for the consumer, it's better for it's just not whatever Roger Ver is saying, it's just not. Going through this some more. During the announcement, Bryson noted that during a conference last year, St. Martin's finance minister said that crypto and blockchain adoption was a priority area to research. Bryson remarked that he appreciated the finance minister's ideas in moving toward innovation. The UP party leader said that the next important step was to introduce crypto and blockchain legislation. So, quote here, while we need to improve our legacy forms of commercial banking by means of my proposed consumer banking legislation, which we saw on Insta, we simultaneously need to create legislation to make crypto transactions even more effective and worthwhile in St. Martin, Bryson explained. He added that he started to explore legislation to make Bitcoin Cash legal tender in the country. Furthermore, he aims to get Bitcoin Cash and NFT transactions exempt from St. Martin's capital gains tax. The concept of money has been experiencing and will continue to experience a wave of innovation, he added. This innovation comes as we, as a country and as parliamentarians, are faced with more questions on how to adapt our local currency and e-commerce for a digital world. Fortunately, the answer lies right in front of us. Come on, man. Don't do this. Don't do that. So, I've personally reached out to MP Bryson myself for comment. Hopefully we can get him in. I could actually sit down, have a conversation with him, possibly even an interview, and we'll bring that to you. So I'll keep you all posted as this story progresses. Next up, we're moving down to Jamaica. So, story here from the Jamaica Observer. E-payment market doubled. So the article here starts out, the e-payment market more than doubled over the last 2 years, according to data from the Bank of Jamaica. So data obtained from the central bank show e-payment transactions in 2021 were valued at $26.89 billion. That was up 129% over the $11.69 billion which were made by e-cards or e-payment methods in 2019. In 2020, e-payment transactions were valued at $21.29 billion, which itself was 82% higher than the previous year. It is believed the onset of the novel coronavirus disease contributed to the explosion in e-payment methods. E-payment products are linked to mobile apps, payment cards, blah, blah, blah. So the BOJ defines e-money as referring to electronically, including magnetically stored monetary value on any device or instrument or server as represented by a claim on the payment service provider, which is issued on receipt of funds for the purpose of making payments and which is accepted. It's a lot of word jumbo. E-payments is any kind of digital payment. Anything that doesn't use physical cash, anything that uses some form of technology or computer for processing it. E-money, digital money, that's what it is. And it looks like Jamaica's having a pretty robust expansion when it comes to this e-payment or these digital payments and their market for digital payments, which is amazing. We talked previous weeks about their development of Jamdex, the Jamaican CBDC that they're working on. So Jamaica, as we can see, is going full on into the crypto space. Their approach, while it is questionable, it's an approach in the right direction. You can't argue that they're heading in the right direction. A lot of these countries are seeing that the old physical cash is just, it's on its way out. If we're being honest, it's on its way out. This isn't really debatable now. People say that there's always going to be a need for physical cash, this and that, but realistically, how big of a need is it going to be? And as these smaller nations start to really develop and grow their infrastructure for digital payments, they can expand their commerce, they can expand their businesses, they can expand their reach to a more global audience. And they have access to a lot more assets and resources and opportunities that they may not have had before. If they did have it, it was significantly more difficult for them to actually move forward with it or for them to branch out and grow. So I mean, to sum up everything here, really, the e-payment market doubling is showing that not only is there an increase in the demand for the technology, but there's an increase of interest in this technology. And that's where a lot of real development and progression in these kinds of spaces start. When a lot more people get interested, be it by force or by choice. Here it seems more like it was by force because of coronavirus. People had to adapt. But I mean, that's just how evolution works. Whatever the means was, this is the end. And the end is the movement toward a more digital focused payment infrastructure. And this, we're going to see this everywhere. Actually, we are seeing this everywhere. This isn't in the future anymore. This isn't something that's coming. This is something that's here. It's just who's working on it, who's developing it, and how is that development going at this point. And as you can see, these Caribbean nations ain't slunking. They are not wasting time. They see the opportunity here. A lot of them have been hurting from the coronavirus epidemic, whatever was going on there. A lot of people saw drops in their GDP. A lot of people saw drops in their income. Many people lost their job. They were unable to work. So this move to a more digital focused economy and the rise in interest that people have in this kind of economy is excellent. It's superb. I love it. I love it. I love it. And last but certainly not least, we know that April is a big month for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We have the Bitcoin 2022 conference. We have the other associated crypto and or Bitcoin conferences and events all throughout, say, Miami, and other places around the world. There's a lot of events centered on crypto and blockchain space going on throughout the month of April. But one thing in particular that stood out to me that caught my attention, I saw it in an email, was this right here. So Silicon Carib presents FinTech FWD, Caribbean trends and business opportunities to watch, understand, and catch the wave. So registration is now open for FinTech FWD. It's a trend forum where we're doing in partnership with Microsoft and Caribbean Blockchain Alliance. So it's a trend forum for entrepreneurs, executives, creatives, and investors to get caught up on the state of Caribbean FinTech, the trends and business opportunities to watch. We want you to understand and catch the wave and set up yourself and your business to make the smartest business decisions for the rest of 2022. So immediately, I'm sold. I mean, right out the gate, looking at it, I see some familiar names. Silicon Carib, we got Miss Riley. We see Caribbean Blockchain Alliance, we got Mr. Delaveau. We got Microsoft, which that was out of left field for me, but I'm with it. That makes it extra valid. But going to the event page itself, you can sign up for it right here. Pretty straightforward, nothing too fancy. The intention of the event: give Caribbean executives and entrepreneurs trends, data, and perspectives to help them make smarter business decisions in 2022. Give Caribbean execs and entrepreneurs insight into the next big thing. Spotlight Caribbean fintech, blockchain, crypto startups, and entrepreneurs. Silicon Carib, Caribbean Blockchain Alliance, Microsoft. So these names alone, right here, these three, I'm sold on the event. I fully plan on being present at this event. I am very interested to see not just what kinds of businesses people are working on, but just to see who are some of the players throughout the Caribbean that are doing things that may be flying under the radar. They're in the development phase. It's who's working on setting up infrastructure for crypto payments in their country. Where are some of these countries in the development process? Which companies, or which foreign companies, I should say, are looking into some of these? Because we've already seen foreign companies are loving the Caribbean right now. It was Africa at first, but boy, they found the Caribbean and they are not wasting time. We saw FTX in the Bahamas. We saw Binance over in Barbados. I mean, I want to see who else is coming, because we know they're coming. We know without a doubt they are coming. If it's good, if it's bad, that's still up in the air. No way to know for sure. I have my opinions, but there's no way to know for sure. But I'm very interested to see who's going to be present, what's going to be discussed, and what kinds of ideas that people are having right now. So I definitely plan on covering this. I'm going to be in attendance, and I'll definitely have some post-conference coverage for y'all after the event is done. So make sure I'll have that link down there too. If you're interested, if you want to check it out, sign up for it. Definitely check out Silicon Carib, check out Caribbean Blockchain Alliance. I don't have to tell you to check out Microsoft. It's Microsoft. But yeah, if this is something that you're mildly interested in, let me know down in the comments, and I'll probably see you there. We could probably do like a group Discord or something and talk about it as the event goes on. So it was definitely a lighter week, but nonetheless, we had to still bring some news your way. All that being said, thank you for kicking it with me for another episode of Crypto and the Caribbean. Make sure before you leave, hit a like, drop a comment down below, share some of your opinions on these stories. What do you think about MP Bryson's decision for Bitcoin Cash to be the potential legal tender in St. Martin? What do you think is next for Jamaica? We see they're progressing with the Jam Decks. We see that they're really moving with their e-payment market and the infrastructure supporting it. What do you think is next for them? And don't forget to let me know if you plan on joining or attending that FinTech FWD event. Let me know down in the comments, and we could possibly set something up like a Discord, a group call, be it video or voice. And as the event goes on, we could share some of our opinions, talk, and do whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know how this stuff goes. But let me know all that down in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the Gentleman of Crypto channel. That button should be right over here. I think it's over here. Somewhere. It's somewhere in this section. Make sure to click that before you leave. And as always, if you are looking for my 100% biased opinions on any of the topics at hand, you already know where to find me. Yeah, just go to Twitter. Trust me, just go to Twitter. So, till the next episode, we can link.